At my best friend's insistence, I rested for another 2 days before leaving the hospital. When I got home, Hayden Foster still had not returned. I did not care. I went to work and came home as usual. It was not until the weekend night of the second week that he finally came home. When he entered, I was organizing my medical license and work documents. Hayden Foster said sarcastically, "Aren't you just fine?" Before I could explain, he grabbed some clothes and went into the bathroom. A short while later, his phone rang inside the bathroom. Even though he lowered his voice, I still heard his conversation with Serena Allen. "Don't worry, she wasn't pregnant. She was probably just being petty. Okay, I'll do what you say. I'll stay at home tonight. If I'm not there, don't kick off your blanket while you sleep." I let out a soft laugh and pretended I had not heard, busying myself with my own things. We were already divorced. He could think whatever he wanted. Nothing I said to explain myself mattered anymore. The only thing was, since he was staying home tonight, I would have to find an excuse to sleep in a separate room. Otherwise, sharing the same bed would honestly feel revolting. As I was thinking about it, he walked into the bedroom and said to me, "There's a small issue with Serena Allen's interview." I cut him off, "Go check on her." A flicker of discomfort crossed his face, but in the end, he only said, "I'll be right back." That night, he never came back and I slept without a single dream. Early the next morning, Hayden Foster unexpectedly rushed back for once and insisted on driving me to work. I found it a little strange, but I didn't refuse. The car had just turned past an intersection when we saw a small car hit an elderly man, then speed away. Hayden instinctively slammed on the brakes and was about to open the door and get out when I reached out to stop him. "Call emergency services for, I'm a doctor. I'll go down and start rescue measures." It was a doctor's professional reflex. The other party had committed a hit and run. I had to make sure evidence was preserved to help this old man. After confirming the dashcam was on, I pushed the door open and got out. I hadn't even taken 2 steps when Hayden suddenly called after me. "Serena's monitoring smartwatch is sending an alert. It might be her heart. I have to go check on her. Wait here for the ambulance." Lives were at stake on both sides, so I didn't stop him. I only reminded him to save the video evidence. The old man's condition was terrible. No matter how I performed CPR, his heartbeat remained weak. After he was sent to the hospital, they immediately issued a critical condition notice. I called the number saved in his phone as granddaughter countless times, but no one answered. By the time the police arrived and asked me to sign off on the special procedure, the old man was already gone. The doctors pushed the body out of the operating room. I stayed where I was, waiting for the follow-up procedures, when a sudden ominous feeling rose in my chest. As if possessed, I logged into the backend on my phone and copied the accident footage. I had just gotten ready to upload it to the cloud when the elevator doors opened with a ding. Serena Allen rushed out. The moment she saw the old man, she threw herself at him and cried as if her heart were being ripped apart. "Grandpa, what happened to you?" "I'm here. Please get up." I froze for a few seconds as an absurd thought flashed through my mind. Could there really be such a coincidence in this world? But before I could speak, she had already gotten up, charged over to me, and slapped me hard across the face. "Chloe Quinn, it was you, wasn't it? If you hate me, come after me." What kind of skill is it to take revenge on an old man? Fire surged in my eyes, but I stayed calm. "I've already told the police what happened. If you have questions, you can ask them." She glared at me, her voice trembling and hysterical. "If it wasn't you, why didn't you make the driver come here? If it wasn't you, why would you be so kind as to bring my grandfather to the hospital?" Her logic was so ridiculous it made me laugh in anger. I was about to take out my phone and show her the evidence when she suddenly lunged at me to snatch it. In the chaos, she used too much force and fell, dragging my phone down with her. The moment Hayden arrived, he happened to see Serena and me on the ground. Without the slightest hesitation, he rushed over and shoved me hard into the wall. "Are you insane?" My spine and the back of my head slammed into the wall almost at the same time. The sharp pain made my vision go black. Before I could recover, Serena had already thrown herself into his arms, crying as if she were falling apart. "Hayden, Grandpa is dead. Hayden, Grandpa is dead. She's the one who hit him and killed him. Make her kneel in front of Grandpa and apologize to him." I looked at him. I watched him fall silent. I watched the hesitation in his eyes. My heart went cold inch by inch. I suddenly remembered the year I had just graduated and become a doctor. A patient's family was unhappy with my treatment plan, so they cornered me in an alley and forced me to kneel and slap myself. It was him. He charged in with his bare hands and fought those people until his whole body was covered in blood. He forced himself to walk over to me and said coldly to that group of people, "This idiot flipped through a pathology textbook thousands of times just to become a good doctor. She can recite all 56,681 words backward. You think you can shatter her dream with filthy methods? Keep dreaming." In that moment, he was the brightest light in my world. But now, that beam of light stood before me, cold as ice. Chloe, he said, kneel and say goodbye to Grandpa. Let the old man leave in peace. Serena lay in his arms, lifted her head to look at me, and revealed a provocative smile. Not say goodbye, apologize. I closed my eyes and let out a cold laugh. Whether I did anything wrong, the police will tell you. But Serena Allen, you're crying so miserably. Are you afraid your grandfather's ghost will come looking for you tonight and ask why you didn't answer his? Before I could finish, a slap landed hard across my face. Enough. Stop provoking her. After that, Hayden ordered the bodyguards to drag me to the hospital bed and kick me in the knees. With a bang, I dropped to my knees. A tearing pain shot through my knees. I stared at him, my voice hoarse. Hayden Foster, you clearly saw the real culprit. He froze for a moment and a trace of guilt flashed through his eyes. Then he bent down and whispered into my ear, Serena's weak. Grandpa's death is too much of a blow to her. If she doesn't vent, she'll get sick. You're just a little doctor. It doesn't matter if you spend a few days in prison. When you come out, I'll compensate you. I could hardly believe my ears. Rage instantly burned to its peak. I shoved him away. On what grounds? I'm not the one who hit him. Are you going to believe whatever she says? Are you really going to ignore the truth and send me to prison? Hayden Foster, how can you say that so easily? Before I could finish, he pressed me back down to the floor. The bodyguards tore open my suit jacket, tied my hands behind my back, and stuffed some random cloth into my mouth. Hayden bent down, looked at me, and smiled with a tenderness that was cruel. Be good. You're just a useless doctor. But back then I became a doctor for him. He was a mafia boss. He was often injured, and it wasn't convenient for him to go to the hospital, so I treated his wounds at home. Back then he held me and said, "Baby, you're the greatest doctor in the world." Now, for his mistress, he called me useless. After saying that, he turned and walked to Serena's side. She sobbed into the camera, crying out, "Hit and run," and "murderer" over and over. The crowd gathered, whispering and pointing. How shameless. She killed someone and she's still this cold-blooded. She's dressed all proper. She's dressed all proper. People pointed at me and cursed me, but I couldn't say a single word. Serena kept stirring up their emotion. Beside us, a family member of a drunk driving victim completely broke down, rushed over, and started punching and kicking me. Fists slammed into my face and body. My bones made cracking sounds. I wanted to protect my head, but my hands were tied. All I could do was curl up and let the blows fall on me. Through the crowd, I vaguely saw Hayden's face. Those eyes that had once made me feel safe now held nothing but indifference. Serena pulled him away to settle Grandpa Allen's body. I slowly closed my eyes. Those fists and kicks shattered the few memories I had left bit by bit. The man who would become flustered with just one look from me. The man who couldn't handle spicy food but was willing to eat Mexican food with me. The man who sat on a train for more than 10 hours just to bring me breakfast. All of it was ripped from my mind by force. The pain was so intense I couldn't catch my breath, and I passed out completely. Hayden Foster, so even your care has an expiration date. Falling in love with you really hurts.